Hello and welcome to another Verbling class. Tonight, conversation. That's it. We're going to take turns talking about things. We might talk about the Grexit, the Greek exit from the euro and all that entails. We might talk about a holiday. It's a holiday tomorrow in Canada. Maybe we'll just talk about things going on. Hobbies. The end of the Top Gear car show, at least with its current presenters. Our children, our parents, school, sports. Maybe a movie or two. There's a lot of movies coming out this year. Big blockbuster of movies. I wonder what's coming out this summer. Well, the Avengers are out now. Star Wars, I don't know when that one's coming out. I would have expected it to be out already if it was coming out, and I've heard nothing. Anna. Hello, Anna.
Hi, Simon.
How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you for asking. Thank you for sending me the message.
You're very welcome. I've booked a lot of classes for this week. I might even book a few more, but I've got 2 tomorrow, but I don't know if you can join me because they're in the morning.
No, I won't be available. I just on Monday because on Monday is my day off.
Tomorrow is my day off.
Tomorrow I will be working.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, sorry.
I'll say tomorrow is my day off, but then I'll be doing 2 classes, so it's not completely a holiday. Oh, it looks like we've got another 2 students joining us. Amp, welcome back from Ecuador. How is your day?
Hi, teacher. Doing well, thank you. What about you?
Well, I'm kind of, I wouldn't say excited, but I'm looking forward to a few things. So after this class, I'm going to relax. I'm going to read a book. Well, it's on my pocket computer. We call these things smartphones now, but they're really computers. And then tomorrow is a national holiday, so I'll
What do you
start
do?
by having
Do you
a
have
class.
something special?
Well, probably there's a huge festival going on, so I'll take the little guy out to see that. We'll have a free pancake breakfast. Then I'll teach another class, and then I will maybe put him down for a nap. But around 9:30, 10 o'clock at night when the sun sets, they're going to have lots of fireworks. So I'm kind of excited about that.
Yeah. Nice.
So, yes. And I love this conversation. This kind of gets us set up for today's class, which is all about conversation. I had made some mental notes about some things we could talk about today in case, we're all kind of sitting there like this. Wellington, you got anything to say? So it won't exactly be like that. Wellington, it's good to have you in the class, my friend. This class is all about just speaking. I will jump in if I hear words that aren't being enunciated correctly. I'll help you guys, but it's more to get you speaking more. I mean, this is an advanced level class. We don't really worry about grammar as much. How is your week, Wellington?
Was good. Was very good. I am doing a lot of things in my job. Planning I am changing of area in my job at the bank.
Good. Promotion?
Maybe not my promotion, but I am transfer for other area, other job. Now today I do my job in an area that is technology. The area is responsible for the call center but I don't do things with technology. In other area, I think it will be very good for me. I will have more opportunities to get a new position, promotion, money, and travel
Wow.
more.
That sounds good, and it sounds like you will at least have a lot to talk about on the occupational front, promotions, job interviews. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And the last I see joining us is Kritika, who is from India, but tonight is live from the United States. Hello, Kritika.
Hi, teacher. How are you?
I'm just fantastic. Are you ready for a class?
Yes, I'm ready.
Do you have lots to talk about?
Yeah, we can talk a lot.
Well, terrific. Why don't we start with you? So the order of talking tonight, we'll
Okay.
go from Kritika to Wellington to Amp and to Anna. And while this class is completely sold out, guys, right now it's just the four of us. So here's what I'm going to do. Instead of starting with a minute, I'm going to allow us to start with 2 minutes of talk time. So I'll start with Kritika. Now, Kritika, you can start a conversation with me, or you can choose another student. And for each of you, that's up to you. It's your 2 minutes. It's up to you to decide how much time you want to speak or how much you want to engage somebody else. So Kritika, you have 2 minutes starting now. Do you have a topic you'd like to talk about, and do you know whom you want to talk with?
I will talk with you.
Okay.
hmm And if you have any topic like it could be anything you give or anything you have in mind, so that.
Well, let me name a couple, and you tell me if any of these interest you. I
Okay.
have what is called the Grexit. It's the Greek exit from the euro, all of this because of the debt situation there. Canada Day, Canada's national holiday of not Independence Day, but it's a national holiday. Summer movie blockbusters, nuclear energy, or space travel. Do any of those interest you?
Oh, it seems a little tough. I do not have enough stuff to talk about them.
Well, it can be anything. Well, just start us off. What do you think about debt? Do you think Greece is in trouble?
What?
The country Greece, do you think they're in trouble?
Greece.
Yeah, the country.
The country Greece is in trouble. I don't have any idea about that. I know the name of the country, but I don't know what's going on there.
Okay,
So,
well, let me kind of explain it like this. Imagine instead of Greece, you've got a farmer and he's got 2 cows, okay? We all know farmers and cows. So cows, you can eat them or you can get milk from them, right?
yes.
So this farmer named Greek decided that he was going to have a celebration, so he killed his cows and he invited lots of friends and family over, and they celebrated for months. Then one day he woke up and realized, oh no, I do not have any cows anymore. This is a problem. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ask my friends in Europe if they'll loan me 2 cows. So his European friend said, sure, yeah, you bet. Here's 2 cows, but you got to give us a liter of milk every month. Okay, so liter of milk every month. Terrific, great, he's excited. He goes home, kills the cows, eats them, and celebrates with his family. End of the month, Europe comes and says, hey, where's our milk? Greece goes, no worries. Goes to the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, borrows 2 more cows, and they say, hey, we want 2 liters of milk a month. Again, he's excited. He goes home, celebrates, kills the cows, celebrates. And at the end of the month, the IMF and Europe are saying, hey, where's our milk? And that's kind of what's happened is Greece has gotten themselves into trouble financially, and they haven't properly managed their funds. So I think this is all about debt and being financially prudent. Okay, so I did most of the talking. That we ran over the time, but that was me doing a bit more talking. But what do you think? Do you think it's important to save, or does it really matter?
Yeah, it's important to save cows because if keep on doing like killing them or using them as our food, someday they will get extinct, and we will disturb our food cycle, and food chain will get disturbed, and also they are the main source of milks. Moreover, People get milk from goat also, but the cows are the main source. So if we going to repeat this activity again and again, they will no more longer be available, and it would be a great harm to the country.
Okay, great. So let me hear you say the word cycle.
Hmm.
Cycle.
A food chain or food cycle.
No, good. And let me hear you say the word goat.
Yes.
Goat.
Yeah, goat. GOAT.
Right? And they will no longer.
Uh-huh.
They will no longer.
I said, we do get milk from goats.
No. Oh, sorry, Kartika. I'm just if you can repeat after me. They will no longer.
They will no longer.
They. So we got to watch the TH sound a little bit, okay? They. Very good.
They.
Excellent. All right, Wellington, we're on to you now. You've got 2 minutes. Go ahead and choose a topic and choose somebody you'd like to speak with.
Yeah, I think about Greece again. About Greece, I think it's a good topic because today is Greece. Yesterday was Spain and Italy, and here in Latin America, so South America, Brazil is not good. We have a great problem here, a big problem here, and I think our president these days is in United States near near EU and try to close some business, and but the problem is our politicians.
Mm-hmm.
They robbed a lot the money, our the public money, and I don't know. I think in some way the same happened in Greece.
Mm-hmm.
In some way, we in our countries, one more than others, we have politicians that only see their benefits.
Right,
And
so a little self-serving and
yeah,
yeah. All right, let me hear you say a few words. Greece.
Greece,
Greece, that's the name of the country. Greek.
Greek,
Very good. It's all Greek to me. Italy.
Italy,
Debt obligation.
debt obligation,
United States.
United States,
Robbed.
robbed,
Robbed.
robbed,
Good. Public.
public.
Excellent. Thank you very much for that commentary. Now we're going to go to AMP. And AMP, we can continue the discussion on financial mismanagement. I think that's a topic in relation to Greece, but also other countries. I heard Wellington talk about Latin America. Or you can take us to a completely different subject. You've got 2 minutes. Go ahead.
Yes. I think that many people just think, well, it's a situation that is not going to affect us because it's in another continent. But if you think twice, well, that situation in a few months probably, or maybe next year, is going to affect also our countries, because usually we sell basic food to these countries, and if Greece just stop paying the debt, they are going to just get out from the eurozone. They are going to be alone. What is going to happen with this market? All of them. This week also, yeah, it started the stock market. It was crazy since the beginning, when we don't have yet what is the resolution that people is going to take in the referendum this weaken. So, but the market is also scared with the euro in front of the dollar change the value. Everything is like a big round of snowball with many consequences for everyone. Um, just not just is not just in Europe. It's something that is going to affect that here, because the material that we send, for example, for us cacao, that many countries in Europe they use for preparing the chocolate, for example, that is a market that they are going to be in just the prices are going to fall probably, and then we are going to have effects also in our country, even when this is not directly at the after months.
Thank you very much. Very interesting. Okay, so before I make a commentary, let's go over a couple of things here. So when the currency drops, we call it a devaluation if it continues for some time. US dollar, Canadian dollar. Drops, goes up, drops, goes up. That's not devaluation, but when this happens, okay, over time, that's a devaluation. You're lowering your value so that way your exports become more affordable to others, but then it costs more to buy from this other country. Let me hear you say market.
Market.
This week.
This week.
Much better. Don't forget your TH sounds. I want you to really focus on those this class,
Yes,
okay?
yes, yes. Thank you.
Stock market.
Stock market.
Fluctuation.
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 Referendum.
Referendum.
Just.
Just.
Good, perfect. Worldwide.
Worldwide.
Deflation.
Deflation.
Okay, so guys, we've heard about inflation. We all know what that is. I mean, it's hard not to. You bought a phone and next year you go and buy it, it costs more. That's because of inflation. Now, deflation is when you go to buy it next year and it costs less. Deflation is when everything goes down in price, essentially. And unlike inflation, it's never seen as a positive sign. Okay, so very good points here. We're seeing a lot of issues in that this is a global village. What happens in Greece doesn't just affect Greece, it affects Europe, it affects North America, it affects Asia, it affects all of us. All right, Anna, on to you. Now, again, we've been talking about some very serious economic and financial topics and issues. You've got 2 minutes. How do you want to spend your time? Do you want to continue the conversation, or do you want to take us in a different subject matter?
I will have to carry on the same
Okay.
topic because everyone was talking about Greece, so I agree with Yempi that it can affect the whole world because the economy is globalized now, and uh, since Greece's debt crisis began, most international banks and foreign investors have sold their Greek bonds and holdings. And in the meantime, the other crisis countries in the Eurozone, like Portugal, Ireland, and Spain, have taken steps to overhaul their economies, and they are vulnerable to market contagion.
Contagion.
Yes, and well, I don't, I'm not as well informed as Imp about the referendum.
Which is this Sunday, but you know, I have to interrupt. You seem very well informed. Not many people are aware of outside of Greece. You've got Spain, you've got Ireland, you've got these other countries, which you seem to be quite well informed.
No, I just heard about the crisis there in the Eurozone. but MP is much more well informed than I am. My gosh.
You're doing very well here tonight. You're very lucid in your thoughts and what you're bringing up. I'm loving it. Well,
Thank you.
let's take a few minutes here. Well, not a few minutes, a few seconds. I want to go over some words I heard. Again, th sound strikes strikes many of us here. That.
That.
Very good. And guys, you know who have
For
trouble
MP.
with it.
Okay.
Always, always. The tongue comes between your teeth. It's not like you're going, it's just you're blocking a bit of air, just ever gently, a little bit will get out. It's that. If you don't do that, you're going to get dat. Dat. Your tongue doesn't go between your teeth. And it does sound very different in English, so keep on that, guys. All right, foreign. Anna, foreign.
Foreign.
Good. Overhaul.
Overhaul.
Contagion.
Contagion.
Perfect. Excellent. All right. Well, Kritika, we're back to you. Again, I'm going to stick with 2 minutes for everybody. I think it's a good amount of time. And again, we can continue on the same subject. You can talk to me, or you can ask another student questions. You can engage anybody. Think of us as in a classroom, and we're just having a conversation. So with your 2 minutes, I'll let you decide how you'd like to go ahead, Kritika. Go ahead.
Yeah, we need to continue on the same subject.
It's up to you.
We can change the subject.
Go ahead.
So we can talk about the culture.
Okay. What about culture?
We can talk about the culture we follow in our own countries.
Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about your culture then?
So I'm in India, and India we have a culture of celebrating every festivals. We have a lot of festivals which happen every year, and the two main festivals are Diwali and Holi. So both are the main festivals which are celebrated every year. Diwali is the festival which is celebrated in the month of November, and on this day the people pray God, God and Goddess, so that they can bring a lot of wealth, happiness, and prosperity. Also, there is another festival called Holi, which people celebrate, and they put colors on each other, and they do exchange sweets. And
I've seen that. Are these like powdered colors where they throw it at people and?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And also we follow these cultures very often every year.
Sounds great. So these are what we call annual festivals then?
Yes, these are annual festivals.
Now, India is a very large country.
Mm-hmm.
Second largest population in the world?
Yes, India has a second largest population. First, I think, being is China.
Well, some say that India might overtake China in the near future, but we'll save that for somebody else because your time is up. So
Okay.
Wellington, we're back to you. Actually, before I give you a chance to speak, I'm going to take 2 minutes. Can I have talk time, guys?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to time myself. I'm actually going to show you a little bit of video. You see, I've been working on something, and it's not quite ready yet, but I'd still like to show it to you. So, let me just bear with me here. I'm going to cue it up. And I'm using all my time here just getting the video ready. So let's see how this works. I'm going to pull my microphone so you guys can hear it. Where's my share? Here we go. hear me and the video. Here we go. Maybe somebody wants to talk about the Pan Am Games coming up here. Here's one of our athletes. He's learning to walk. Here he's learning to stand.
Good.
For those of you who don't have children, this probably doesn't make a lot of sense, but if you do, this makes a lot of sense. They do a lot of that falling. But that's enough of that because I've only got about 10 seconds left, but I'm going to use that to transition over to Wellington. And one of the reasons I showed that video is right at the beginning. There's a bit of a controversy over the Pan Am Games. They just feel it's not fair this year. It's in Canada, and the Canadians are going to win all the medals. So you know, it's sad but true. But Wellington, I don't know if I baited you into talking about the Pan Am Games, but yeah, what would you like to talk about, sir?
I don't follow soccer. Yeah, I prefer volleyball and, of course, music. Music, I can talk about music.
I don't think music is an Olympic sport yet.
but soccer, yes, it's true. I don't follow soccer, and soccer I only see when is happen World Cup, because all the nation turn your eyes to this game, to this competition, and I think it's natural follow the family, to be with friends, and of course cheer. It's correct. Cheer for the players, and
yeah, we would say we would cheer them on or support our team, support our players.
Yes, support the players. But it's bad. It's bad because we have good players, and I think the coaches is not doing a good work. But Brazil, I think, has more World Cups than other team, I think. More than Canada, of course. I think Canada don't have anyone.
Well, hey, now that's just fighting words there. So, you know, before we go on to AMP, I just want to let you guys know that traffic in this city, well, I don't live in the city, but to the south of me, is going to be horrendous. This city is bad on a good day. It's not as bad as Brazil when it comes to traffic, but it is pretty bad. And give you an idea of where exactly I live in relation to the city, let me share out a map here. And let's see, let's do Toronto. So here we go. There's the city of Toronto. And let's make it a slightly bigger map here. So this is going to start to look a little familiar now. So we can see this is Lake Ontario, Lake Huron, Lake Erie, Detroit. There's Toronto. And just a little bit further north is where I am, that blue dot. And you can see all this here is just built up city.
Yeah.
So to get down here is going to be tough. It's just crazy. I'm not looking forward to that. So I'm going to probably watch the games from my house where it's safe. I won't get stuck in traffic.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I've wasted too much of my own time here. Amp, you've got 2 minutes. Do you want to continue talking about debt? Do you want to talk about the Pan Am Games? Or is there something else you'd like to talk about? Oh, Amp is away. Oh, be right back. Thank you. So, Anna, why don't you take her spot?
Would you like to suggest a topic?
How about space travel?
Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't think it's going to be possible the
This is
way
what
that
happens
we.
when you ask me to suggest a topic.
Okay. Well, maybe it's going to be possible in the future because I read about two guys that were willing to pay a huge amount of money to go to the moon, um, like starting in games, you know. But space tourism, in order to get customer, they would have to improve it a lot, you know. The spaceship um, must have to be as comfortable as a five-star hotel
Did you
with a
know
lot
you
of
can buy
space.
land on the moon?
No, I didn't. I have never heard about it.
It's true. I'm not kidding you. You can buy land on the moon.
All right, and would you be willing to buy?
I haven't yet. It seems like a lot of money, even though it's only $40, just to get a piece of paper saying I own land on the moon when the person selling it really has no right to sell it.
It's a trap. I wouldn't fall for it if I were you.
You wouldn't buy, you mean?
I wouldn't fall for it. It's a trap.
Does it sound exciting or boring?
It just seems to be a trap
It could
to
be, or a
mislead
scam.
people, to mislead people, to scam.
It could be.
I wouldn't fall for it. I thank you. Thank you,
Well,
teacher, a lot.
no, it's okay. So here's a link here, just in case anybody's interested. I don't just make stuff up here on Conversation Class. It's called lunarland.com, and it's been featured on 60 Minutes. Basically, this guy was out of work, and he's trying to figure out how to set up a business, and he thought, selling land on the moon, who can say no? Nobody owns it. Interesting story. I suggest you guys look into it a little later. All right, Amp is back. So, Amp, Anna just took your spot, so I'll give you the same amount of time. You've got 2 minutes. What you would like to continue talking about?
Well, I'm going to talk in my country. Everyone is excited. Well, most of the people that we are Catholic because the Pope is coming next week, and he is going to be here in two cities. And my city is the first one that is on Monday. There are a big, how do you say, um, planned in every single church that we are moving in buses until the place that the Pope is going to have the mass.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that everything is going to be okay, but people is coming from small provinces that they are not going to have the Pope there. So the authorities estimate that there's around 2 million people that day in that place. So we have to go early in the morning. There are people that are coming from the day before. And well, in my church, I just decide to go 6 a.m. in the morning, and the mass is supposed to be around noon. So if everything is organized, and I hope so, we are arriving here in late in the afternoon. And well, they are preparing many things. People, the volunteers, people that have some problems in their health, they are going to have a special location in the park. And we all of us, we are trying to get with enough water and to stay there.
Well, it must be exciting. I remember when the Pope came to Canada some almost 30
Which
years ago,
one?
almost 40 years ago.
Which Pope?
John Paul.
John Paul.
Okay, so let me hear you say the word problems.
Problems.
Church,
Church.
health,
Health.
national tour.
Which one was the last?
National tour. Oh,
National
sorry.
tour.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're back to Kritika, and well, hold on, Anna. So let me see. I'm just looking at your comment there. Do you want to say something, Anna?
On my turn, I would like to speak. Okay, for
You just
2 minutes.
you had 2 minutes.
I had, but you were talking with me. Thank you a lot,
Well, see, that's
teacher.
part of conversation. I mean, you can choose to just speak for 2 minutes, or you can engage, and part of that is talking. I did say at the beginning that if you do engage others, or if they do
Uh-huh.
talk, it does take part of your 2 minutes.
Okay, thank you, teacher.
But next time, if you want, you can just talk for your complete time. I won't interrupt.
All right. Okay. And if you could take notes and give me
Sure.
feedback, I would be grateful because you jumped in.
Yeah, I'd be happy to do that.
Thank you.
All right, Kritika, you've got 2 minutes. Go ahead, please.
Can we continue on another topic?
We can move on to another topic. Sure. What would you like to talk about?
We can talk about the yoga day which happened last week.
Sorry, did you say yoga?
Yoga day?
I don't know. What is yoga day?
Oh, you didn't? It happened worldwide. The United Nations and internationally it has been declared Yoga Day for 21st June 2015, and it is celebrated all over the world. It was also celebrated in New York at the Times Square, where a lot of people gathered together and they did yoga there. There are various positions in which it's a kind of exercise which bring up a good health, and it's really good for the health of the people. And I also was a part of it. I went to the nearby gym yoga center nearby my house, and I did participated in it, and it was really good. And it happened everywhere around the world. It happened in the United States of America, it happened in India, and also it happened in many other countries as well.
Well, stretching is very important, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what yoga is. It's about stretching, isn't it?
It's about stretching. It involves all your body parts, including your back, your hands, your legs, neck. It includes every joint of your body.
So what do we call these?
Mm-hmm.
There's a special word for it in yoga for a stretch, for example, or a position. What's the yoga word for this?
What's the
the
different
word for position?
It includes the different positions in which people exercise.
Actually, the word is pose. They call them yoga poses.
Yoga pose. Okay.
Yeah, it's a pose. So let me hear you say the word international.
Yes. International.
Celebrated.
Celebrated.
Positions.
Positions.
Excellent. All right, Wellington, back over to you. We've got about 20 minutes left, or we'll have less than that by the time you're finished. But go ahead.
Yeah, I'd like to talk about technology and not technology, about the immigration to Canada. A lot of people here in Brazil that work with technology they think to about to migrate to Canada
Hmm.
because they think that the life there is good than here and other places, maybe even better than United States. They think that work there is better. What do you think?
Well, everyone's different. Me personally, I've lived in the United States. I've lived in Canada, New Zealand, England, and for me right now, I believe that Canada is the best country, or one of the best countries. I choose Canada over the United States for many reasons. It's better job market, more higher paying jobs, um, healthcare. I don't have to worry about going to see a doctor. That's all covered. Yes, taxes are higher, but healthcare is not free. It's like what we're seeing with the Greeks. They had
Yeah,
a very large social program, and it cost a lot of
yeah.
money. So it depends on what you're looking for. What are you looking for, Wellington?
No, 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 not me. No, not yet. But
No, but what to you makes Canada the best country or Brazil the best country? What are the measures that you rate a country?
no, I think Brazil is good if, in some parties, and I think that your country is better than others.
Very good point, and I'll have a little commentary shortly, but let me hear you say technology,
Technology,
immigration,
immigration,
think,
think,
good,
good,
criteria,
criteria,
criteria.
criteria.
Very good. Um, I'm going to take a few seconds here. Maybe I'll spark some conversation. Um, the best country in the world is what you consider to be the best country for what is important to you. Two people can have completely different measures and think their country is the best. If I was looking at a warm climate, Canada would not be at the top of my list, and perhaps when I'm ready to retire, there'll be other places.
Florida.
But no, too hot, too hot. No, more like San Francisco.
Yeah.
Um, but when looking at how I measure the best country in the world, it's education, the cost of education. So the lower, the better. Access to education, access to health, clean environment. So when you go outside, you can smell clean air. You don't have smoke in your nose or soot. Your water's safe to drink. Your food is safe to eat. Low crime, and the ability to find work and provide for your family. I think those, and low cost of housing. I think those are very important. But that being said, I've used up my time, so now I'm going to move over to Amp. And Amp, you've got 2 minutes to talk about whatever you wish.
Now that you take that Wellington said about the immigration, yes, like you said, probably here is not the best opportunities to get a job, but in my case, I haven't decided to move on to another place or something, because why? The reasons, my family's here, I know everything here, and I what the things that I need they're here. So probably said, well, you have a well-paid job in another country, but I feel that my country is more safe than in, for example, the United States. It's like someone else just become crazy and start shooting everyone.
Hmm.
It's not something that I want for me and not for my family. So even if you have more money there, but you spend a little more. You can here, for example, go to from one city to another just for $3, for example, in a
Hmm.
bus. But it is the same that you pay for maybe a bus inside your city in the United States or Canada or something. So it's just a relation just that you do, and it's almost the same. Well, here we have a variety of fruit, variety of fruit or food, and also you can change the region. If you don't like the warm weather, you can change to the other region, and you can have a cold weather with a less temperature than that. Well, but the landscape is different. You can change it, and just in few hours you can go from one place to another. But if, for example, in your case, you live in Canada, I cannot live in Canada with a temperature under zero for 40 degrees, for example. Oh, it's incredible.
Well, you can live anywhere. I can tell you that. I've lived in almost every climate, tropics to subarctic, and you just do what you do. I live here because I've got a good paying job. I've got the security. I've got the freedom. It doesn't make sense for me to move right now, and that's probably for the next little while. Let me hear you say the word probably.
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 Is safer.
It's safer.
Inside.
Inside.
City.
City.
Just.
Just.
Almost.
Almost.
Cannot.
Cannot.
All right. Excellent. So I would love to really talk to you a lot more about this, but it's not about me having a conversation, and it's more about you, right? And if you choose to ask me questions during your time, great, but I really want to allow you guys to talk as much as you can. Next we have Anna, and Anna, we've been talking about immigration, we've been talking about where it's safe to live, talk about games, lots of things. What would you like to continue the conversation? Or would you like to continue the conversation or start a different one?
Don't know.
Don't know.
No. I don't have.
Huh.
Gosh.
Well, okay, let me give you something here. Nuclear energy. How do you feel about nuclear energy?
Well, we are concerned about the environment, and the fossil fuels are are decreasing. We don't have a lot of fossil fuels, and we will have to change the sources of energy that we've been using so far. However, nuclear power plants are not as safe as some people say, because if we have if we have an accident, it can be more harmful for the environment than anything else. You know, uh, people claim that nuclear power plants can produce more energy, and they fear that the waterfalls that are required to have hydropower plants can decrease as well, and they believe that it's a green solution, but it's not. In my opinion, we would have to try to find other sources of energy, renewable sources, and try to go green in order to face up all environmental issues.
Okay, good. Let me hear you say fossil fuels.
Fossil fuels.
Nuclear energy or power, nuclear power.
I said okay, nuclear power plants.
Very good. A lot of people you'll hear if you watch movies say nuclear, it's nuclear. So very good. Abundant
Nuclear
energy.
abundant energy.
Very good. So
I
Anna,
didn't say
sorry?
I didn't say abundant.
Okay, no worries. Hydro, guys, you might have heard Anna refer to electricity as hydro. In some countries like
Hydropower
Brazil and
plants.
Canada, that's normal because we get our electricity through hydroelectric dams. So quite often you'll hear people refer to it as hydro, and you think water. No, it's electricity. All right, other,
Other.
other,
Other.
renewable.
Renewable.
Okay, good. All right, Kritika, we're coming down to the last 10 minutes. You've got 2 minutes. Go ahead, please. Or is Kritika still away? Oh, she's still away. Well, we move over to you, Wellington. You've got 2 minutes. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Yeah, about this issue about nuclear power. Yesterday, I think, I don't know, I'm not sure. Uh, Eric, other teacher from Verblin, they they bring to us, they brought to us an article about a woman that was contaminated in one of the factories in United States. This happened years ago. Sorry, I don't remember their name, but um, some
What
some
was she
filmmaker.
contaminated with?
Sorry.
What was she contaminated with?
She was contaminated about from plutonium.
Oh, okay. Radiation.
Yeah. Her name is. Sorry, I don't remember. But the article was very interesting because the factory, something like Mackie Gear, something like that, and they try to fake the situation and
Cover up.
cover up the situation, and unfortunately she died. She died in a crash, and until now the people think that the factory is responsible for this.
Well, it could be. I mean, let's face it. You can't buy plutonium or uranium-235 at your local industrial supply store. The only way to get contaminated with those chemicals is through a very limited number of organizations that work with either a nuclear fuel through weapons programs or nuclear energy. So it's, it's hard to blame the actual person in this case.
Yeah. Yes.
All right, let me hear you say the word contaminated.
Contaminated.
They.
Contaminated.
They.
They contaminate.
Oh, they.
Sorry. They.
They. Th.
They.
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 No, you're saying they. You're not doing what I mentioned. Tongue between your teeth. They, not day. They, day. They, day. See the difference? Try again.
They.
No,
they.
You're not. You got to put your tongue right between your teeth. Build up a little bit of pressure. That release of air when you pull your tongue away is the TH, okay?
They.
There you go. That's
They.
it. Perfect.
Okay.
Tried.
Tried.
And yeah, you were talking about a cover-up. They were trying to hide it, right?
Yes.
Very good. All right, and we're talking about energy here. Anna also talked a little bit about green energy, and yes, it's happening. A lot of countries are doing it. Germany, as much as 25% comes from green energy. I believe I read that solar contributes to 1% of the world's energy reserves right now. Very different from 10 years ago. Amp, you've got 2 minutes. Do you want to talk about renewable energy?
Well, here it's more the energy that we have is just hydro, and there is a new ones places that are building in the last years. There are two projects that are in plan. There were some ideas that the country just was trying a deal with China to have a nuclear power here, but people start just complaining because of the danger that could represent this action. And well, it's a project that have been delayed here. Um, I don't know if they are going to do something before this government is over. Probably if they continue in power, probably they are going to try to change the way that we get the energy because of the levels of the rivers. But I don't know if there is some ideas that just nowadays, for example, they are trying to introduce the use of induction stove instead of stove by gas, and they are trying to say the people that they are going to have a special discount if you start using this kind of stuff. But I think that they don't have the structure to the for this implementation right now. They just need more. If you are everyone is going to use the this kind of energy, the induction stuff. The energy that they supply the plants, they are not going to be enough.
What do you mean by
Um,
induction? What technology are you referring to?
yes, it's just a kind of stove that they have a the heat is supposed to be uh, just better distribution than the gas, so you don't need to cook it for more for many time. It's supposed to be used just in Norway or I don't know where.
Oh, okay, so that's probably more like a geothermal where you're transferring energy from the ground.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if they have the all the
Well,
infrastructure
unfortunately, I have
to
to
start
cut
it.
you off because I got to give
Yeah,
Anna some time with two
yeah.
minutes. But let me hear you say that they.
That they
Good. Contaminants in the river.
contaminants in the river
Okay. Stuff.
stuff. No,
Uh,
I want to say this stove. No, stove,
stove.
stove.
Yeah, and I want to
Stove.
say you're doing really well, and I think you're at the stage you need to be. When we're speaking, you're right. You should focus on the conversation.
Mhm.
Don't get hung up on pronunciation because if you do, you lose your thoughts. Your pronunciation is very good. However, I will still pick out words that I think you can work on, and it should give you an idea of what you got wrong and realize what you didn't get wrong. So you didn't get many wrong. What is good, though, is to pick good topics so that we can have more of a discussion, and I think that will work a lot better for you. But you're doing very well. Well done. All right, with about 2 minutes left to go, we've got Anna's our last student to speak tonight. Maybe you want to talk about fracking, Anna. I just saw some discussion about fracking.
No, I don't want to talk about fracking. I was just wondering if it's the name when you put pressure in the ground to get gas.
That
Uh,
would be fracking, yes.
okay, I was just trying to remember. Okay, I have 1.5 minutes. Could you suggest a topic for me?
Well, I was going to suggest fracking, but
No, I just
how
have
about
1 minute.
holidays?
I have less than 1 minute to talk about holidays.
Okay, what would you like to talk about?
Um, okay, teacher, it's fine. Thank you.
Maybe festivals, maybe movies, TV shows.
Okay, I have 30 seconds. We have a lot of holidays here in Brazil because we are a population made of immigrants. Depending on the region, we have some celebrations similar to German celebrations, such as Oktoberfest in the south of Brazil, where people wear German costumes and they drink beer. In in the whole Brazil, we celebrate Carnival, and everyone wear costume or goes to the streets and dance, and people get wasted and high, and they believe that they are allowed to do everything. The Christmas we celebrate like in the USA. We follow the same traditions. However, Christmas here is in the summer. Thank you.
You're very welcome. I'm going to go a few minutes past, so if you guys don't have anywhere to go, you're welcome to stay. Anna was just talking about holidays, and as I mentioned, tomorrow's a holiday here. For some strange reason, people think that Canada's national holiday, Canada Day, is about independence. Well, we didn't fight to become independent. Britain is still our sovereign. It doesn't really affect us. We're pretty much an independent nation. But it's not about that. What Canada Day is about is everybody getting together and celebrating, having fun. And the day usually ends with some great fireworks. There's usually some food involved. And our town is doing lots of things. They've got like a pancake breakfast for the family. They've got an animal zoo, petting zoo. They've got different events. They've got bands. And tomorrow the weather actually is shaping up to look pretty nice. For you Brazilians and Ecuadorians, you might think, oh my God, 72 degrees is very cold.
Yes.
But for somebody who's British in origin, no, that's quite nice, as long as it's not raining. But let me show you what the weather looks like tomorrow, and you might go, oh no. So let's take a look here.
What part of Canada did you live?
This part right here. So you can see lots of rain, and it's supposed to rain into tomorrow a little bit, but I don't know what time. Let me take a look at my smartphone, which is kind of stupid when it comes to weather, and let's see what it says. So Aurora is where I am, so here we are. The screen's not refreshing. It looks. Oh, let me stop that. So here we can see.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah. Bad weather.
Well, hold on. Oh no, it's supposed to thunder maybe. It's 40%, right? From noon until 2 o'clock.
Okay. Okay.
Which is perfect because if you guys saw my schedule tomorrow, I'm teaching a class at that time, so it can rain while I'm teaching.
Oh, unfortunately not. I was working.
Well, no, I'm glad you guys came out. I'm going to try to do the conversation class a bit more often. You two did a terrific job. At some point, I want to try to get you guys to engage each other. For example, Wellington, you might say, Amp, I understand that you're from Ecuador. How do you feel about whatever it is, this subject?
Yeah. Get involved, yeah. But maybe in that case, we can switch the turn. If I want to get involved in the subject that, for example, you are speaking, or maybe Wellington, maybe you can switch the time, yeah, even when it's not my turn, because if I well, maybe if someone else is behind him, well, we cannot continue with the same conversation. So.
Yeah, I'm very simple. Look, I'm more the intent of the rules, not the letter of the rules. So the only reason I have specific time for each of you guys is because I've had students complain that some students speak more. So, and I just have that there so we don't have any fights. But what you might suggest in the next conversation class, say, look, hey, I'd like to just have a conversation with Wellington. Can we change the time? And what I could say is, okay, tell you what, guys, you have 2 minutes apiece. That's 4 minutes. Why don't you guys have a conversation for 4 minutes? Right?
Yeah.
Or maybe we do 3 minutes, right? And then that would, because if we do 4 minutes, well, no, here's what I'm thinking. If we do 4 minutes, then whoever is last might have 10 or 12 minutes before they speak. So if we do 3 minutes, and then if somebody doesn't want to do that, say, okay, you get 2 minutes. But you see, you got to be careful because somebody will say, yeah, but if I speak with somebody, I only get a minute and a half. And
Simon,
yes.
Sorry, I think independent of the time, always we have people that will complain.
Yes.
Yes, you are right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are times when I will come out and say, well, I'm sorry, and as you saw when something was brought up today, I said, well, I said at the beginning, you have 2 minutes. It's up to you to decide how to spend it. And I don't think the student was understanding that her needs are different than your needs, different from somebody else's needs. So I adjust it. But if the student just wants to talk for 2 minutes, fine, I'll let you talk. I won't correct. I won't do anything during those 2 minutes. I'm more of a realist. I understand those who are looking to learn, and that's what I'm trying to do. I want to give you the abilities where you can learn something. So, for example, Wellington, focusing on the TH sound, that's something you've got to do, and it's just simply to remember tongue between the teeth, for example. So you made a very poignant point a little while ago, and I realized I was a little too rushed in that class, but it wasn't clear what I was trying to convey. So I kind of rethought my classes, and I've come up with 3 models now. Conversation, simply that, conversation. It's for advanced speakers. Primarily, you want to engage somebody because if you're just speaking, you're not really learning, right? You want to engage somebody, and then when they ask you a question, you're able to respond. The game class that I have, it's called 20 Questions and Guess the Price of That House. The reason why I've done it this way is, as you can tell, with 20 questions, you have to think, and it's all in English. You're using deductive reasoning. You're using so many different types of words. It seems like a game, but it's really one of those games that helps you learn. But I've also noticed a lot of my students have trouble with numbers.
Yeah.
And it's not 1 to 10. It's about, you know what I'm talking about, 100,000, 150,000. It's what we consider house price numbers. So that's why I thought I'll call this Guess the Price of a House, because if I say guess a number, people think, well, that's boring. No, that's not the point. So that's the second class, and of course the other class, and I've forgotten what it is right now. What's my other class that I do a lot? Oh, describe what you see. Again, it's about using those adjectives. It's about looking at a picture, and you know, you understand the importance of this because you look at an image. It's not about, for example, when I showed you that image of my boy running, it's not my boy. It's my young child. It's my young 1-year-old. You see, as I say it each time, I'm adding more description to it. And then you can just say, ah, yes, instead of, well, how old is he? Right? You know, you ask more questions. And so that's what I'm trying to do. So those are the 3 classes I keep throwing over and over again. And again, you know, in a month, maybe we need to change it up a bit. Maybe there's another class I can throw in here. But my focus is on getting you guys to do the speaking.
Yeah, I think the kind of classes that you bring to us is good, and so all that has a goal. Yes, has a goal, and so, but sometimes some people don't understand.
No, and that's the thing, and I get frustrated with Anna sometimes. This is not the first time she's done this. She'll say, "You give others more time." I'm going, you know, well, if it's
It's
just
not
about,
just in your class. The problem is that it's not just in your class. It is the same with Ina, the same with Lisa, the same with Teacher West. In every single class, she has been complaining that they said that other people have more opportunity. For
yeah.
she, yeah, that's a problem.
Well, and what I
Unfortunately, I don't
do,
know why.
well,
But
here's what I do. So there's certain things I say and there's certain things I do. When it comes to her
Please,
time,
please
you get 2 minutes. That's it.
see my message, please.
I The one you just sent, you are online. You can, oh yeah, close the stream.